Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. A fork of the XRP Ledger is being created, and it's being created by XRP Ledger developers who have been pro XRP for years and years and years on end. So why is this happening? What does it mean? Is it even good for XRP or the XRP Ledger? Well, that's what I want to talk about. I still have questions. Now, the white paper for this thing and the news broke 2 days ago, and I hadn't covered it on my channel yet because I wanted to read the entire white paper before making a video about this, and I was able to make time to do that. I prioritized it and read it this afternoon. It was 18 pages, and I still have a lot of questions specifically about why this is good for XRP or the XRP Ledger. After reading the white paper in full, I just have some things that I need to learn more about despite this. Now, just to be clear here, since that is the case and I do have questions, just understand that when I'm asking a question, there is no implied narrative, there is no implied perspective unless I state otherwise. Sometimes when people ask a question, it's, it can be defensive or it can be perceived as an attack against whatever the topic of conversation. That's not what I'm doing here. Just to be perfectly clear here, I'm not saying that this particular fork is bad or good. I mean, I'll tell you this: technologically speaking, in and of itself, it's probably fantastic because it's a fork of the XRP Ledger. And again, having just finished reading the white paper, from a technological perspective, so much of it is exactly the same as the XRP Ledger, but it has native smart contract functionality. And another thing that jumped out at me is that validators actually get rewarded on that particular blockchain. So understand, although this is touted as a sidechain, it literally is a separate blockchain. It is separate entirely from the XRP Ledger. And so you got to kind of wonder then, couldn't this just lead to competition directly against XRP and the XRP Ledger? But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so I remember some months ago, and I can't remember if I highlighted it on the channel or not, but I remember reading some comments from Wietse Wind, who is the founder of XRPL Labs and the Sum Wallet, and he had voiced frustration in recent months about how, in terms of the long-term viability of the XRP, really suffering here because there's no native smart contract functionality, and he was decrying the fact that there's the Hooks Amendment, which has been sitting on the back burner for a good 2+ years, even at that point, not getting adopted. And so he expressed concern, and I'm paraphrasing here, of course, he expressed concern that this is why XRP and XRP Ledger are going to get left in the dust potentially, and this is why there are more developers on like Ethereum, for example, with the smart contract functionality. You can do more stuff if there's smart contract functionality, and he wants the Hooks Amendment, which would offer layer 1 smart contract functionality on the XRP Ledger, to get approved, and it's not been to this point. So he finally just got to the point where he's like, okay, well, screw this, and he's creating a new blockchain, like literally creating a brand new blockchain. And again, so it's being touted as a part of the XRP Ledger ecosystem, and so as a result, it's supposed to be good for XRP and the XRP Ledger. I don't know why or how it is. Now, again, me asking that question is not asserting that it is not good or valuable for XRP or the XRP Ledger. When I say I don't know how it is, I mean that literally. I do not know. I would like that information, because maybe it is. And I just read the whole white paper, and the closest they got to explaining it that I saw was that it could be seeing how this new blockchain performs, this fork of the XRP Ledger, seeing how it performs. That could help developers on the XRP Ledger, a separate blockchain. It could help them determine when or how or if they're going to implement the Hooks Amendment. That's the closest I got to any sort of explanation of how it works. And in fact, if anything, and I see people bringing up this concern. There's concern about actually just extracting value from XRP and the XRP Ledger and placing it into this new blockchain because there's a burn to mint system. where you can literally burn your XRP that you hold on the XRP Ledger, and in exchange for that, you get an equivalent quantity of XRP Plus, which is the new token on the separate blockchain. And that's a one-way street. You can't do it from XRP Plus back to the XRP Ledger. So, again, in terms of actual use cases, I mean, they even had like theoretical use cases in sample use cases in this white paper. They had to do with whitelisting and blacklistings, but it didn't. There was still nothing about making it clear about how this would be good for XRP or the XRP Ledger. And so I'm just sitting here. I know it's the white paper, so I get that the thrust of the conversation would be about this new chain and XRP Plus. Fine. But if a core component to this is it's supposed to be good for XRP and the XRP Ledger, I would have thought that there would be a bigger section in the white paper specifically talking about that, because it's about the ecosystem being mutually beneficial. There was no section about it being mutually beneficial. There's almost nothing about how it would benefit XRP and the XRP Ledger. And then the developers get almost all of the tokens, and it's I believe what I read was that it's uncapped. And I think that's as a result how you can ultimately have validators getting rewarded. Because that's the other thing, like I said, that's the other thing that I found fascinating is validators, unlike the XRP Ledger, for which there is no incentive to run a validator, you actually get paid an XRP Plus to run a validator on this new blockchain here. And so here is a post 2 days ago from XRPL Labs announcing the white paper. And they wrote, "We are proud to be part..." Oh, and actually, let me mention this too. I don't know how the hell to pronounce this. The name of this this new blockchain it's spelled Xahau, and I wish I know they like to put X in front of everything. Stop it, because I don't know how to say it. With the sum wallet I get, it's XUMM, and then I had to ask to make sure, and then we find, okay, so it's sum wallet. So what's this? Is it Xahau? Xahau? And then it's not always the case that when you see an X, it's pronounced like the letter S. So is it Xahau? Xahau? And then what does that mean even? I don't know. I mean, there may be very good reasons for all this, but I read the whole white paper and I was just kind of thinking at some point, would you just say how it's pronounced? Because I haven't heard anyone even pronounce yet. I mean, this is all newer stuff here, so I'll figure this out here. But I just read the damn white paper. I don't know how to pronounce the damn thing. So anyway, it's Xahau, so I'll probably just say it a bunch of different ways throughout the course of this video, because I don't know what the hell it is. But anyway, we are proud. This is what XRPL Labs posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. "We are proud to be part of the Xahau network as a launch participant. As stated earlier, we will support multiple chains that use the XRP Ledger protocol, and our commitment to the main XRP Ledger remains steadfast." Okay, so they're still building for XRP and the XRP Ledger, but I want to learn more because it's not in the white paper. I want to learn more about how this benefits XRP and the XRP Ledger. And this is why I remember Crypto Eddie talking about this concept months ago. And she was talking about how basically I mean, I don't want to put words in her mouth either, but my recollection anyway is that there's this idea shared that it's basically a competing chain. I mean, in theory, if it really is superior, then the value could really just end up over on that chain. And then who knows, maybe the XRP Ledger goes the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature. Not that I'm convinced that's going to happen. And I actually made a video where I was actually talking about this concept, and I pointed out, like, stuff like this happens. If you think about Ethereum Classic, you guys realize Ethereum Classic, separate from Ethereum Classic is the original Ethereum. And then there was a fork, and then the original Ethereum became known as Ethereum Classic, and then the new fork got to retain all of the clout and the name of the original. So, like, weird stuff can happen in crypto. I'm just saying that. But this is really being built as a separate blockchain. Now, truth be told, there's something to be said for standards. I say this all the time, and it clearly is true. Standards are hard to supplant, as evidenced by the fact that Bitcoin is still #1 in market cap, right? Because it's the technologically the worst blockchain in existence, because it was the first, right? And so that's not me just for the fun of it ripping on Bitcoin. It's just the case. I mean, it's pretty easy to make that argument. And so even if there's a blockchain that in certain ways is better than XRP or the XRP Ledger, if XRP is already in use for X number of use cases, good luck supplanting it for that. So it's not, I don't see that it would necessarily, make it completely worthless or something like that. I find that actually pretty hard to believe. But it is true that the XRP Ledger does not have Layer 1 smart contract functionality. And I'll say this also, if this is what developers want, if it weren't ultimately on this new blockchain, which by the way hasn't launched yet, the Xahau network, Xahau, whatever, however the hell you pronounce it. If it weren't there, if developers want that type of functionality, then it would have been a different blockchain. And I'm not against competition, so I don't care about that. I just want to find out how it's beneficial to XRP and the XRP Ledger specifically, and that just isn't sufficiently explained in the white paper. So that'd probably be my biggest question about all this here, at least at this point off the top of my head. And so here you have Wietse Wind, who is probably like among the most, if not the most prolific, then among them in terms of development on XRP and the XRP Ledger. Here's what he had to say about this. For 2 years, XRP Labs has collaborated with other entities with a track record of building on and supporting the XRP Ledger ecosystem. Today, together we published the white paper for Xahau, an XRP Ledger protocol. Damn it. How do you say it? We're proud to publish the Xahau white paper alongside of GateHub, Alloy Networks, and Evernode, and others. We believe this is the best, fastest, safest way to get hooks, which is lightweight smart contracts for the XRP Ledger out there. Yeah, and by the way, so this is one of my questions I had months ago, because I know Wietse Wind had been pushing for the hooks amendment to pass, but I also remember that David Schwartz, one of the co-creators of the XRP Ledger itself, he stated that smart contracts wouldn't be good for the XRP Ledger because that could negatively impact, use cases as it pertains to payment specifically, because something's got to give somewhere effectively. Maybe the XRP Ledger would be slower if you wanted to make sure that you had native, just layer 1 smart contract functionality. And so I haven't seen all of the actual tech specifics, not that I'd understand all of them, because I think like if you don't know how to code and you're not an actual dev, then it's going to be over the head of pretty much everyone. So I just want to, I just in terms of how to articulate this, my greatest understanding at this point is that although there would be smart contract functionality, it differs in some way from the functionality that would be available on certain other chains, and I think that's why they're calling it lightweight. So I don't know if that means that there's something that you're giving up in order to maintain the speed of what is the XRP Ledger code, but you still get some sort of smart contract functionality. It's not 100% clear, which is why I said at the outset of this video, I'm still learning about this. This is brand new to me, and I finally read through the white paper today, and so there's just questions out there. And there's probably perfectly good answers for most, if not all of this stuff here, which is why, again, when I ask questions, sometimes people take that as a negative, as if it means that you don't think the thing is good, and that is not my stance here. I'm very curious. I want to learn. And in fact, I'll take an extra step here just to make sure nobody can misrepresent or misunderstand what I'm stating here. Again, I just want to reiterate, the developers building this, they're among the most reputable in the entire XRP community, unquestionably. So so me asking the question, it's because I want to understand what the rationale is, because I think that they have more to explain. That's it. But they're reputable. I don't think for a second they'd be doing something that would actually be harmful to XRP or the XRP Ledger. So if the answers to these things aren't readily evident, there's just more explaining to do. That's okay. This stuff is very complex. But it's not to say that they're doing something shady or bad. I would be shocked if that were the case, based on their track records. They're nothing but the most reputable in the entire space, these people that are building this out. Anyway, Wietse Wind continues. Now we can shortly start building all the things we have envisioned for everyday life utility, powered by the XRP Ledger protocol. We will continue to build for the entire XRP Ledger ecosystem, and everything we build will be open for the entire ecosystem to benefit from. We have a multi-chain XRP Ledger protocol ecosystem, can bring both the proven resilience of XRP Ledger mainnet and the endless new possibilities of hooks. Once the Xahau network is fully live, some wallet will obviously be updated to support multiple XRP Ledger protocol networks like XRP mainnet and Xahau. We're one step closer to realizing our vision of the XRP Ledger protocol, finding its way to actual everyday retail adoption. There you go. So if the Hooks Amendment is actually good, and basically this new blockchain it's basically the XRP Ledger but with hooks. And there are some differences, like I said, with validators, and you actually can get rewarded. And if I read correctly and I'm remembering correctly, it's also uncapped. You know, the in terms of creation of this XRP Plus token. There's that, but again, if the value's over on this separate chain, then it's not on the XRP Ledger. And it just kind of makes you wonder. And so then if the Hooks Amendment is passed, would it end up being the case that if it is passed on the XRP Ledger, what then is the benefit or purpose of this blockchain? Because it's possible that the Hooks Amendment could pass. And then what are the differences? Well, one of the biggest ones, like I keep saying, was, validators get rewarded. But other than that, in terms of the consensus mechanism, it looks about the same so far as I could tell, and having read through this thing. So I don't know. I've got a bunch of questions still, but I wanted to get the conversation going, and I'm going to be asking the questions. I mean, I'm actually asking them here right now, but I want to ask them, to specifically on social media, maybe we get some good written out responses from some of these people, because I want to understand the ultimate intent here. And so I get it. There's frustration. Hooks Amendment not getting passed. I want more functionality. Totally got all that. So went ahead and created a separate blockchain. But if it's not a competing blockchain, we're just going to call the sidechain because that sounds nicer. Okay, if that's the most accurate way to say it. But I need to know what the benefits would be for XRP and the XRP Ledger. And again, I see this burn to mint program that just goes one way. It seems like an extraction on the surface anyway, an extraction of the value from the XRP Ledger over to Xahau, over an XRP Plus, the new token. And there are, by the way, it's going to have an open market value. GateHub's on board with this from the beginning. Somebody else said that BitTrue's also going to have market. So this thing's going to be traded. It's going to have an open market price. Speculators are going to do the thing. They're going to speculate on this, just like you can with XRP or any other damn cryptocurrency. But I don't know, folks. Look, and forks have happened in the past. Now, with XRP, it's just not particularly common, but there have been at least 3 prior to this that I've been aware of, and they've all failed. Doesn't mean that this is going to fail. If anybody's going to pull this off, it would be this group of people. I'd be willing to bet that. And I'm sure they've very thoroughly thought through this. As far as a launch, there's some sort of auditing process they're going through, and apparently that's going to be ideally wrapped up by the end of this year. So as far as launch, there's not an actual date yet, but there we are. I still have a lot to learn. I was just hoping that a lot of these bigger picture questions about what it would mean for XRP and the XRP Ledger, I was really anticipating and expecting there would have been some sort of section, in the white paper about that, and there wasn't. So I was kind of surprised. So I finished reading this. I was like, okay, well, I want to talk about this on my channel. So I read the thing. I took the time, and then I'm here reporting to you that it wasn't explained. And I've read a bunch of stuff on X, formerly known as Twitter, which is basically where the XRP community lives. And in all of my perusing to this point, I haven't seen that topic sufficiently broached. So again, presumably there's a good reason, or else they wouldn't be doing this. I mean, if they have some evil intent to extract the value from XRP and the XRP Ledger, well, that wouldn't be good. But I don't think that's what they're doing. I find that very hard to believe. So there's probably a really good answer here. But anyway, I'll keep looking into it. You guys let me know what you know in the comment section below. Again, I don't know. I know what I know about this. This is a brand new thing here, obviously. So I just wanted to foster this environment where we could just have this conversation at least. So let's continue this in the comment section below, as well as on social media. Let me know what you guys think about this. But I'll just stop yapping here for the time being. But let's make sure before we come to any firm conclusions that we have an even better understanding of what the implications for this are. And that's why at the time I'm recording this, I'm reserving judgment here. It sounds very interesting, but I want to know more about how this is good for me as an XRP holder, because it's being touted as such. And I just want to make sure I understand it. Pretty reasonable. That's it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.